Hello, dear friends. Hello, guys from Dublin. Hello, guys from America. Hello, guys from Brazil. And maybe hello, guys from Lithuania. Maybe we have more. Maybe we have more people watching us here today. Let me see. So here tonight we have a very special guest, Nadja Gircis or Gircis. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Nadja, she's a Brazilian, but she's a doctor who is based in Lithuania. And tonight, she's going to be talking with us about medicine and spirituality. So we have a very interesting topic and a different point of view. We have here tonight also Nadja. So before we do our initial prayer, ladies, would you like to say anything? Would you like to maybe introduce yourself first, Nadja, then Nadja?
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me for this talk. I'm flattered by your invitation. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here and talking to you guys. And thank you to the Kardec Radio and the Spirits Society of Ireland for inviting me. Yes, you said, I'm a Brazilian with Lithuanian roots, and that's why I'm here in Lithuania also, because I love this country, and I'm working here as a doctor, as an acupuncturist, and living in the capital, Vilnius, which is the most beautiful city in Europe.
Would you like to say anything before we start, Nadja?
No, just say good evening, everyone. Good to be here again with you guys. So we have a very interesting talk today. So during the talk, be with us, send your question, your comments. It's very helpful, very useful for us as well.
Okay, guys. So we're going to start as normally we start with our initial prayer. So for those who feel comfortable, I would like to ask you to close your eyes. If you don't, that's fine also. Let's take a deep breath. Try to concentrate ourselves here in this present moment, forgetting all the anxieties, all the worries, and all the thoughts outside. Try to concentrate only about this topic here, enjoying this time and opportunity to learn more about spirituality and medicine. May the mentors of the group who have been supporting us for over 10 years in Dublin support us here today and guide our thoughts. May the Master Jesus and Allan Kardec help us tonight in order that we only express Spiritism and the Gospel of our Master. Thank God for the opportunity, and so be it. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave only Nadja now on the screen. We're going to be here behind. So if you guys have any questions or any comments, please let us know. Nadja, anything that you need, just say a word and we're going to show up our faces here, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. So thank you very much, Nadja. You may start. It's a pleasure to have you here again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic for me because I'm a doctor, so I'm very happy to talk about spirituality and medicine. For me, being spiritual is believing that there is something else around us that we don't see, but we can touch it, but we feel it in our hearts. And as the introduction of the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec, it's already there saying that the Spirit's communications with human beings can be either imperceptible or obvious. So spirituality for me is it's something that it's in my everyday life. So when we are talking to our patients, when we are with our colleagues, it's very important to try to involve the spiritual notion, the notion of spirituality, to help them to go through difficult moments of life. There are many studies published showing that those who pray every day, those who have a belief, who are religious or spiritual, they have less hypertension, they have less stress, they tend to follow the doctor's advice more often than those who are not so connected to spiritual being or spiritual side of their lives. And as Emmanuel said in the Consoler, health is the perfect harmony of the soul. It's not so easy to get to this point. Of course, we need to do our part. We need to become someone spiritual. We have to do our part as well. We need to look after our body. We need to take the medication as the doctors advise us. We need to look after our health and our mental health, especially in times of pandemic, of course. And we do our part, and then the spirituality will help us. We need the materialism for our progress, but we need the spirituality to help us go through the difficult moments of our lives. How to get to this harmony of the soul? It's loving the other person, loving your colleagues, loving yourself first, of course, and everything around will change. I haven't started in this spirituality path a long time. No, it's been maybe 3-4 years that I've been studying more and more about spirituality and medicine, and it's something that's it opens our mind and when we put in practice, we see the results much easier. For example, if there is a difficult patient or a patient in pain, and when we are in pain, we are not ourselves. So when we are suffering, we cannot have some peace inside us. So when this moment happens, we as a doctor and health professionals, we have, or family members, the carers of patients, especially those in the palliative care, for example, with chronic illnesses, we have to try to understand their suffering. But when this moment comes, we have to ask our guides to help us as well. And sometimes I just not close my eyes, but I just take a deep breath in front of the patient, and mentally I ask my guide, the high spirits who are always with us in our consultation room, to guide me in that moment and help me to provide the best for my patient. And not only in the medical field, but also when I'm working with acupuncture. So I've learned with Dr. Marcelo Saad that he is also an acupuncturist, and he in Brazil, and in one of the Spiritist Congress, Medical and Spirituality, Medicine and Spirituality Congress last year, I had the pleasure to meet him, and we were talking about acupuncture and the effects of acupuncture, and he said to me that he was praying every time that he was placing the needles into the patient. So I started doing it as well, and I could notice a change in the treatment, a change in the result, and a change of the reaction of the patients, not only to the acupuncture at that moment, but also after it. And so it was kind of the feeling that was the acupuncture was really working. They couldn't explain why. Of course, not all of the patients will have this immediate effect. Some patients that I feel that they need something extra, I do also, I ask their permission and I do some Reiki. So I'm also a Reiki specialist. So I do it on the patients for the moment that they are having the acupuncture. So I think this exchange of energy between the patients and the doctors or the acupuncturists or any care or healthcare professional is very important. They receive a little bit of energy from us, and we receive their energy back. So I think I believe that I am a medium, but not that type of medium of the Spiritism, but a medium as a channel between the high spirits and the patient. So that's why every day I ask the permission from God, from Jesus, and from the high spirits to be their instrument of work to help the healing process of the patient. And yeah, so another thing that is very important is always reading about the new research regarding medicine and spirituality. Nowadays, there are more and more papers published regarding research in this field of medicine and spirituality. Many Brazilians doing great work about the effects of prayers on patients, or even the magnetic field of the patient, so going to the physics, more the quantum physics, or not only the spiritual part that we Brazilians are very religious and spiritual, so we tend to believe more in this in the results of the spirituality. But it's important to show that there are some research, important research, and also more and more people are interested in the spirituality and in medicine in the universities. So not long ago, maybe a month, 2 months ago, I had a seminar with some nurses and professors from the University of Kaunas regarding spirituality and medicine. And I suggested them, as we have in Brazil, many medical schools, they have the academic leagues, they have the AMIS, Associação Médica Espírita, so the spiritual medical societies or associations, to talk about the spirituality, to talk about the impact of the spirituality in everyday life of the patient, of the student, of the doctor, of the professors in the university. The importance of publishing good papers, good work regarding the spirituality. And not only in Brazil, there are universities in Melbourne, Copenhagen, in the United States that have this spirituality and medicine study in their university, in the medical university, or in the medical degree. So I believe that we are tending more to the spiritual side of medicine and not separating the body parts and studying it, which is of course necessary. We need to be even more specific in subspecialties, of course, to be more specialists and to know more about each part of the body. But we cannot forget that we are body, we are soul, we are perispirit. And so I think the future of medicine will be more related to the effects of spirituality, the effects of the emotions in our body, because our emotions have big impact in our physical body. So if we are sad, if we are going through a very difficult moment of bereavement, the death of a loving person or a dog, for example, a cat and a pet, we can transform that sadness into physical condition. And the spirituality comes to the point in our daily life to try to balance this feeling. And so we have with the spirituality the certainty that everything is going to be fine. So we have that faith inside us, that the belief that this will pass, no? Like Chico Xavier always said, it will pass, it shall all pass. So it's important also to try to use the spirituality to control our emotions so we can balance and reduce the effects of our emotions in our physical body and in consequence in our perispirit. I'm very happy to hear from you. If you have any questions, you can stop me at any time because I'm just talking, and you can always stop me and ask any questions.
No, Nadja, it's really nice to hear what you're saying because you are complementing, spirituality and the works of Allan Kardec and Jesus. You are making it to make a lot of sense, even for perhaps some people who are new into Spiritism. Thanks for that. But you mentioned two things which I myself I'm quite curious. You mentioned acupuncture and Reiki. Does André Luis or any other, let's say, doctor, I mean the spiritual world, or maybe Dr. Malene Nobri, or there is any other doctor, have they said anything regarding to the effects of acupuncture and Reiki in our physical and spiritual body? Have they said anything clear about it?
Yeah, there are in some of the André Luis books. I can't say now which one. I'm sorry. I think is well. I cannot say now which one is that. But we have our chakras, no? And our chakras we have they are in our perispirit and in our dupletérico. I'm sorry, I don't know dupletérico in English.
Dupletérico. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But try to explain.
So we have our spirit and we have our perispirit, which is our physical form with our organs and as we are now. And when we die, when we discarnate, that's how we show in the spiritual world. So that's our perispirit. So it's the dupletérico is between the perispirit and the physical body. So it doesn't. It connects our perispirit with our physical body, and there it's like where the prana, the chi, or the bioenergy is of our body is. So when we have the center of forces, the energy centers from our perispirit. The acupuncture has also points in each of the chakras. So we have 7 chakras plus another 32 center of forces, and the acupuncture has 750 plus points. So each of these points communicates with the main chakra point, and they will send they will harmonize the energy, the cells through this energy exchange of energy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not clear. Is it clear? Sorry.
No, it's clear, but at the same time, I'm just wondering because when you said that André Luiz mentions that, I was quite curious because a lot of people they say that André Luiz, he explains the medicine of the future. So I was
Yes.
wondering, like if he would say anything regarding to it, and
He talks about the center of forces, the force centers, centro de forças, né, in
yeah,
Portuguese. So force, center of forces, which are
yeah,
these main chakra points and which are in our perispirit and in the dupliterico. So that's where they communicate with the energy, the exchange of energy is done. And also through the passes, that's how also our body receives the energy and then transforms it in our kind of like healing from the
sure,
surgical. The spiritual surgeries also they happen in the perispirit because that's where it's impressed our uh, disease conditions and that we, for example, as they mention in other books, for example, someone who died by suicide, for example, and they have in the perispirit the impression of the result of that suicide. If it's like drinking some poison, so then they will have in the throat and in the stomach that the corrosion in their perispirit after discarnate. So when we are drinking too much alcohol or when we are smoking, so all these chemicals that we are putting inside our body, they are not just damaging our physical body, but also our perispirit. So after that's what happens to André Luiz when he got to the spiritual world and discovered that he was a suicidal because he was exaggerating in the food, in the drinking, and the smoking, and his perispirit got all the results after the damaging his physical body.
okay. So now, thanks for the explanation. It's great. Thanks for making it so easy for us to understand. But now we have several
Thank
comments
you.
here, and our boss here is Stevan. He's the
No,
man.
not a boss. Come on.
So
Hi, Nadja. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry I'm late,
Thank
but
you.
yeah. So
Stevan, we have some comments there. Would you like to? We have Robbie there. We have Elsa. We didn't go through to them yet. Would you like to go through to them?
let me see here what Rob is saying here. Where the mind is, the body will follow. Health, mind, and spirit helps cultivate a healthy body. I have a question, Nadja. I don't know if I heard somewhere someone saying this or I read somewhere, but it's saying when you are sick, the disease. Let's take the coronavirus. Okay, vibrates in one level. In order you
Sorry, vibrates. I
you
didn't
have a
understand.
frequency, vibrates in a frequency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And your body it's another frequency. In you to get sick, you need to download, let's say, put it down your frequency, the same frequency as the virus or the sickness, in order to get it. How to do not allow this? How to keep our frequency always up?
Well, my opinion is looking after your health and your mental health. So your health is doing exercises, eating healthily, and avoiding not too much alcohol or cigarettes or any drugs. first of all. The looking after our mental health is loving people around us, doing voluntary work, keeping your mind occupied with good books, and also with your own work. So if you get to the point that you are anxious or getting depressed or getting sad, and then this is the frequency that will put you down and will level you to the point that you may be easier, will lower your immunity, and then you have more chance to become ill. So if you are, trying to, of course, keep safe, wearing masks, washing your hands, and being healthy, with eating healthily, and and
so, but it's
and
important what you were saying, because
you
it's important what you were saying, because even though I'm washing my hands, I'm wearing mask, I'm taking all care possible, but if I'm in a lower vibration, I am a good potential.
Yes, because you reduce your immunity. No? So if you're down, no, let's say emotionally as well, so your immunity will be low, and then you will be more propense, more you open your field to the low level spirits and to the virus. So as we learn that if we don't keep our vibration in a good vibration in a high level, we will open space for those who don't want to see us happy. So those less fortunate spirits who are around us, like the good ones. So the good spirits protect us because we vibrate in the same level as they vibrate. So we have this magnetism, this communication. But if we vibrate in another frequency, then we will attract those who are in the low frequency.
Okay. Yeah, I just come across what Elsa is asking here. Unbalanced emotion also can affect our immunity.
Yes, that's what I just said. So if you are sad, if you are depressed, so your vibration is different than when you are happy and feeling love. No? So then you will not look after yourself so well. No? So you not eat properly. You not. Go out with wearing scarves and gloves and protecting yourself, and then you open guard to reduce your immunity and then to become ill.
It's like our friend from Chicago, Don, saying here, prayer, good words and thoughts, spiritual books, how we will elevate our vibrations.
Yeah, totally agree with Don. Yeah, prayer. You can pray to someone else, and there are studies showing that I think it was in the United States. They done some studies of with magnetic resonance or some equipment showing that those they separate people, and so who are going to receive some prayer, who is going to make a prayer for themselves, and who are not talking about prayer or anything. And those who receive prayer from others and who prayed for themselves, they had a different type of result in their scans than those who didn't. So this shows that there is some effect in praying to God, or praying to high spirits, praying to something that you believe. The importance is to believe in something, and then you elevate your thoughts and because just praying every day for nothing without your heart, then it's not going to work. Just from your mouth, coming out of your mouth is not so sincere every day if you're doing it from your heart.
Yeah. So they come across exactly what Rob is saying here. We all need to create an environment, mental, physical, spiritual, that allows success. Our current state is a reflection of the environment we have created through our actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
guys,
have
this
here. Sorry, just to compliment him, the in the Spirit's book, the third part, there's a chapter 2, moral laws, and there was a part saying that good actions are better than prayers because actions are worth more than words. So it's not just saying a prayer, but also believing and acting in your in what you do, in your good actions.
yeah, yeah. So I hope, Vanderlei, you are praying and acting like Von Nady is doing, no?
Yeah, but I have a question about this, Nadja. We always hear in the spirit movement that, of course, the prayer is a great tool for us. We're not discussing that. But we see in history many scientists and doctors who weren't religious at all, but they gave all their life and all their energy and made huge efforts in order to create new vaccines, like we are seeing now in the corona. People who created good, who developed the medicine around the world with no religion around in the background. Once they were working, doing this, were they not praying at the same time also? Even if they are not doing really something religious, but they are giving all their energy to the others. Is that not a kind of prayer also? Can you clarify, please?
Well, in my opinion, I think that they don't need to be religious. They can be spiritual. No? Or even if they say they are atheist or they don't believe in anything. But I think that inside them, they know that they are doing good for the others, and this is this is exactly what you're saying here. So good actions are better than prayers. So they might be in their subconscious part, knowing that they are doing it for the good of others. Of course, not all of them. Some of them do it for prestigious, for vanity, no? Or for pride. Or, I don't know. No? There might be some scientists that they do want recognition because of vanity. But I do believe that others, many, they have this inside themselves, maybe because of reincarnation, then we carry it with ourselves through our reincarnations. So I believe that if they feel good doing good to the others, these are also this is an action, a good action. So they will have some extra points, bonus or bonus horas, né?
Yeah,
When they get to the spiritual world.
Mhm.
Yeah.
thank you.
And you, Nate, how is your actions and your thoughts?
Yeah. But I just want to get the opportunity of don't make a very good comment here that I would like to share. There have been multiple papers published about the effects of prayer and the healing process, and also recovery from surgery. And this that don't talk about, I have seen a lot on the medical spiritual congress, especially last year. I have the pleasure to be in Germany and to see the symposium that they had there about medicine and spirituality. Was amazing. And the Dr. Marcelo Saad, that is your friend, was there as well. And this is very important because they talk a lot about this, about the research that have been done on the hospitals and the university about how the spirituality can be helpful and influence in the healing process and surgery process and recovery process, and even in cases of loss, you know, and how this have been help a lot, not just the family, the members, and those who are going through, but the doctors as well, the team who work behind, like you as a doctor. I believe that you maybe have seen this, and how can you tell to us, you as a doctor in this field, how you do you see this in the future of spirituality and medicine and medical, let's say, because we when we see this, in my personal view, I really wish and pray that this become more and more common, because uh, it's very useful for us, for those who has faith, doesn't matter if it's in God or some kind of spirituality, to help them to healing themselves easily, and this is like you said, the mental state that helps the body to recover. And you as a worker in this field, how you see this relationship, and how you think that is will be the future?
Yeah, well, I think that it's very important to continue having more and more research, and with the internet we are publishing and everybody's having access to it. And with our congress, the more congresses we have, and now with the internet, with our lives and videos, YouTube, you see loads of information about it, and in many languages, and all from all over the world. So it's very, very important to not just keep it between us, between the spiritual people. No? Like, we are interested in the spirituality because we know spiritists, or we are curious about spiritism, so we go look for this information. But those who receive this information, they need to pass forward. So you've been to the Congress, so talk about this Congress to your co-workers, to your neighbor, so everybody will know about it as well. So I try to put it into practice. And so when I have a patient that needs, that I can feel that there's something, probably some spiritual help from intuition that comes to me and say, like, talk about spirituality or about emotion to this person and to this patient. And then when we start talking about it, so they try to, they are a little bit unsure, and because I am, of course, not, I don't look like Lithuanian. I don't speak like Lithuanian. I have my accent when I'm speaking Lithuanian with my patients, but they try to, I think they look at me like, okay, she's not from here. So, because the Lithuanian doctors are not so open to talk about emotions and religiosity and spirituality. So when I go through that further step, they are a little bit unsure, but then they open up and they start talking more about it. And the other day, one patient said to me, "Oh, doctor, so do you believe in reincarnation?" And I was like, "Yes, of course I do." And then we start talking about it. So it was very, very nice. It was a kind of like they have this notion of spirituality, but they don't talk about it. So, of course, in Lithuania, all the Baltic countries and Eastern, other Eastern European countries. Lithuania is not Eastern European, but it was considered because of the Soviet era. So they were here in Lithuania forbidden to practice religion, to talk about religion during these 40, 50 years of domination from the Soviet era.
I imagine that it's become a barrier for some people.
So for them to talk about religions is something like, well, no, we don't talk about it. We practice at home, but we don't talk about it to anyone else, because you could disappear in Siberia if you say anything. So now when you start talking about it, and and you see that people know about the spirituality, but they don't have the chance to talk about it. But now you open this door, so they start talking. They probably, my patient may have mentioned it to his wife, and then his wife may mention it to her friend, and her friend will mention it to her mom. So, like, you know what I mean? We need to put it in our notion of effects of spirituality in our health to not just between us, but to everybody that we can. So spread the word. I think that's my point of view. And the more we have people interested, the more research we will have done. And then, as I said, in the university, the young generation will start having more and more discussion about the spirituality, courses about spirituality, how to put into practice the spirituality with patients, or with your with the carers of the patient.
Yeah. Well, and I was wondering, this one of like questions I have here, how Lithuanian people behave when you talk about spiritism. And the question is like, do you have any way to start a conversation like that? Or when you feel someone, okay, I can talk about spiritism with this one.
Mm-hmm.
How it works?
Yeah, here in Lithuanian, the notion of the spiritism is still the laying on hands on tables, the table dancing, is like bad connotation when you talk about spiritism. So if I say Christian spiritism, they will say like, well, what it is, what they're talking about. So like I feel the person, if the person is more spiritual, or they believe in, they are not so closed-minded person. So then I try to introduce the spiritism from the codifications of Kardec. So according to Kardec's books, and talk about the books. But here we don't have any books in Lithuanian language. So if someone who is listening and wants to help me translating the books, because I have started translating the books
great.
to Lithuanian language. So yeah. So then, of course, I need help. So
send you good vibrations. That's all I can do about Lithuania.
Yeah, I have some helpers, but yeah. So yeah, but extra help is also very important. So. But yeah, I just feel if the person is open to it, and then I talk about it and try to explain the spiritism as it is, and not just the table turning or the glass play, let's say, or the bad spirits. No, we have good spirits. We have our guardian angels, our mentors, and we talk about Jesus. We talk about the gospel of Jesus, but according to the Spiritism.
Okay, and in your opinion, let's say, an impression here from Ireland, the experience, three of us here, native on the lake. Ireland is like Lithuania with a Catholic background. Perhaps here in Ireland is a little bit more. And all the time when we engage with Irish person and to talk about spiritism, they do have a great background in Christian teachings. Like I would say most of the times better than mine knowledge. Vanderlei is the one who has a little more than everybody here. Yeah, but when you engage in a conversation with a Lithuanian, do you think you can talk about the gospel, or you just stick with the Spiritist book?
I try to mix both, because the Spiritist book has the base of it, the basic knowledge, the philosophical, the scientific part of Spiritism. And the gospel has the teachings from Jesus. So I try to show that they were not just words, and something that we, it's a kind of, I think the very religious people, they use the words from Jesus as sometimes as punishment, and And really, it's not just I show it a way of following it, but in a good way, and it's not just punished because we are bad people, so we need to be punished. No, we are here to evolve, to progress, and that's how the gospel comes into action when I talk. But I think I try to inform also according to especially the spirits books. When I think the medium's book is a little bit an extra level, so I try to go with the base first.
Point. That's exactly the point, because I have the impression, I can say from our perspective, which is Ireland, they need the basic. They are in, let's say, in the kindergarten, or maybe not even there. They're in student crash. No, I'm not saying we are. It's not a matter of being superior or not superior. I'm saying about knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to focus on the simple things, and sometimes we can see, like for example, if we introduce the book No Solar, for them, I think it's too high. Like they say no. Instead of you call them for us, you push them away.
It's like when we talk in our European Spiritist group, we Brazilians, we have already that notion of Spiritism, and we know Chico Xavier since we were born. And as I was telling Vanderlei just before we started, I think every person in Brazil has either been to a spiritual center, or every Brazilian, not in Brazil only, but every Brazilian in the world may have had a passe, or have been to a spiritual center, or has contact with Spiritism somehow. So we have a different notion of the Spiritism. So if we start with the film of Chico Xavier, or our home, the Nosso Lar, it's one thing. But for those here in Europe or in the United States or anywhere else in the world who didn't have the opportunity to have Chico Xavier in their country, so for those people, I think they need the basics, and that's why I decided to Spirit's book first. I'm at the beginning. It's still introduction, but I'm going slowly. But I think that's it's the beginning. It's the main book that I think that we need to start translating to any language, so they can know a little bit of spirit, a little bit of a spiritism, and coming out of the nursery to the kindergarten from the Spirit's book.
Yeah, we have a lot of comments here. Let's give some.
Thank you.
So first one, don't say Lithuania is a small country, which an isolated language. Not many people speak it outside the country. Bless you for taking on this challenge.
Yeah. Thank you.
We are sending good vibrations. Unfortunately, we don't.
Thank you.
Also, I keep saying
good.
The gospel would probably be best as it discusses beliefs that would be more familiar to the people. I agree with Nadja. It's perhaps a mix between gospel and Spirit's book. Because philosophical things, a lot of questions they may have, we don't need to reinvent the wheels. It's already in the Spirit's book.
Yeah. You can complement each other. Yeah. When we're talking about the Spirit's book, we can talk about the gospel, and we can explain some parts of the gospel with the Spirit's book. So.
Yeah. We have we used to have before the March. A common a kind of protocol here. Every new person, non-Brazilian, because in Ireland we do have like Irish people, Italian, Spanish, French. It's
Polish.
a lot of people. Polish, a lot of Polish as well. You know, so
Lithuanians.
no,
Not in our center, but there is a lot of Lithuanians in Ireland.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
in Ireland, yes, yeah, in the center. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So and this kind of protocol we have, we always give. You know that little book, Spiritism in the simple expression. It's a small book, tiny one. So we used to give to them.
Yeah.
And this Spiritism in a simple expression, in my view, for someone who doesn't know anything about Spiritism, it's a mix between the Gospel and the Spirit books in a very simple way, written by Kardec again. So it's very good. So we this is what we're doing here. And
Wow,
a lot
that's
of
interesting.
yeah. It's small booklet. I don't know.
No, it's small, something maybe
I don't have
less
it.
than 100 pages.
Yeah, I don't have.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite tiny, something like this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have
That's
it.
so cool.
Yeah.
I gave all my books, so I don't have it. Yeah. But yeah, so
It's something interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I can give you later, and
Yeah,
Yes.
please. It would be good. Then I can distribute it as well here.
Yeah.
We have some here in Vilnius, in the capital. We have some box spread around the city with that people can leave books there and exchange books. So I've been putting some
that's
leaflets about
it's
the
a
spiritual.
it's a pocket book.
Yeah, that's right. That's great. So I can leave it
Yeah.
there, and like I'm leaving the leaflets about the spirits, and like just front and back. I leave it there, and someone will pick it up and will read about it. Yeah, so if there's a booklet, and then even better, because people will tend to read more, then will be more curious maybe to get that and have a look.
Yeah. Also, Rob is saying here, Spirits book. What is the purpose of the incarnation spirits? God imposes incarnation for the purpose of leading spirits to perfection. We always need to remember that we are in the process and need to be kind to ourselves as we progress. Yes.
Yeah.
Is the balance. Yeah. Marie Benedetta say, I agree. Even the way to approach should be simple. I gave the Spirits book to a Romanian friend. She's like Orthodox Catholic. The same night she called me to say that her and her mother couldn't stop reading the Spirits book. Yeah, see?
Well done, Marie.
Well done, Marie. It's a very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say, are they Orthodox Catholic? I think he's referring to Romania. As far as I know, depends on the Romania. When we went in Romania like 3 years ago, we went with Minage to Romania.
I think they have Orthodox and Catholic people.
Yeah,
so.
they are mixed,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I know the country is kind of divided. I think the north of the country is more Orthodox, and the south of the country it is more Catholic. I don't know. Well, if the question don't ask is related to Romania,
The important thing is that they enjoy the book. So
that's the main point. They enjoy the book. They really did a good job, and well, let me see.
But no,
the question is Lithuanians. So they are Orthodox or Catholic?
They are Catholics, most like 90% Catholic. They're very Catholic here. It was the last country in Europe to become Catholic during the Crusades. Yeah. So it was the last one to become Catholic, but now is very strong. Catholicism is very strong here. Roman Catholics are the majority here.
But like with the books in English at your city, would they help, or people they are more like, I just want to read in my own language? I don't know.
No, they help. Here in the capital, many people speak English, so and it would help as well, of course. But I think I want to. I want more Lithuanians speaking our language. So the Spiritism in Lithuanian would be reaching more people than in English. So yeah, not everybody speaks English here, but many people do, and we have many foreigners here. So of course it would help. But I thought about it already, not to having some and distribute it as well. But still the work of translating is important because there is nothing in Lithuanian language so far.
Yeah. And we're going to our last 4 minutes. And one personal question, Nadja. How do you see how you feel being born in Brazil? Now you're living in Lithuania, and you have this gift to talk about Spiritism to Lithuanians.
Well, it's a blessing. I think if I wasn't born in Brazil, probably be talking about it. I don't know. Probably I would be interested or having contact with it. But I think the fact of I am a Brazilian, I am how can I say, more friendlier, open. People will open more to a foreigner. That being a woman, Brazilian, so like women are more open, so like approachable. I think it's easier to talk about Spiritism. So I'm very happy that I was born in Brazil and got in contact with the Spiritism there, and got so many books in Portuguese that I can read. Not all, of course, there are many books from André Luiz and in English, but in Portuguese is different. So I have in my Kindle so many books and also about spirituality and medicine now. So many books from Dr. Décio Iandoli Jr., Dr. Malene Nobre. They are still not translated to any language, so they are becoming, of course, more translated in other languages, but they still only in Portuguese. So I have this. How can I say? It's a blessing, but I have this opportunity. Is not the word, but well, I have the opportunity to read those books and learn more because I have more information from Portuguese language. So then I can translate it to English, to Lithuanian, and spread the news, information, and share the information.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Guys, do you have any final comments?
No, but
we have 1 minute.
I was just going to say, Stevan, once the coronavirus ends, please come to Dublin to give a speech here for us.
Thank you.
That would be great.
Yeah, thank you. Well, hopefully next year we can all meet in person.
Yeah, fingers crossed,
in Dublin, in Vilnius, and maybe we can have a congress here. So, like, bringing the spirituality here as well.
Thank
you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Nadja.
No, I just want to congratulate you, Nadja. 'Cause I think you have a beautiful job and you have a long path to go in Lithuania. And I'm see that you are really happy when you talk about Lithuania. So I think you are in the right place for what you have to
Yeah.
do. I think you are the chosen one for this mission, and I'm sure that you will have all the help that you need, and you'll be brilliant. So congrats and
Thank you.
keep strong, keep doing what you're doing because for sure you are doing the right thing. It's
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The support is the important thing. So the support I have from you all and from Elsa Rossi and Givaldo Franco and Dr. Lesser, all people from the MSI, the Medical Spiritist Association. Everybody is just helping me to go forward and do my job.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, my dear. Well, so anyway, guys, thank you very much. Let me
Can
give
I
you some.
just say one thing? Sorry.
Of course, you can say. You
Just
say a
one
lot of.
thing.
Yeah,
In
sure.
November, in next, not this weekend, but next weekend, on the 21st and 22nd of November, there will be the first International Spiritist Medical Congress, and it's free.
Yeah.
So you can all join us, and there will be Dr. Sonia Doi is doing a great job. So yes, that's the one.
It's here. Yeah, it's in our announcement.
Yeah, please be
Yeah.
part of it and spread the news of spirituality and medicine, please.
Yeah, it's the
Thank
first Congress on the 21st and 22nd. So enjoy. Els already put the link in the comments on the Facebook. By the way, can you replicate and then we add this link in YouTube as well for those who are listening from YouTube? So on the 28th, we do have the talk with Arugandi. Yeah, that's the link. Thank you, Wanderlei. And learning more about Spiritism, we do have the spiritistinstitute.org and spiritismacademy.com. Even for you, Nadja, if you don't know, the Spiritist Academy, it's a lot of short videos teaching about Spiritism. And here in Ireland is helping us a lot how to explain things we think is difficult, but they can do like in 5 minutes, 10 minutes video. So it's very good. So I strongly invite everyone. And I also keep listening Kardec Radio. We have a lot of interesting talks, and for sure, one of the shows we have during the day will call your attention. So that's it from me. In order to finish here, Nadja, would you mind to do a final prayer for us? No, she did the initial prayer.
No, she made said she was going to do it, or you?
It's just because I'm not used to do a prayer in English.
Okay.
So it's going to be a little bit.
Okay.
So it's better for you. I'm sorry.
So I will do it. So, okay. Once again, let's raise up our thoughts towards our mentors, towards all the good spirits who are looking after us. Thank you for the opportunity to be here in Ireland. Thank you for the opportunity to have Nadja in Lithuania. Just make us capable to do our mission. At the same time, we ask to keep the team of Dr. Bezerra de Menezes to look after our brothers and sisters who are sick, all types of sickness, like mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. May they can assist everyone according to their needs and merits. So be it. Amen. Okay, my friends. Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you
was a
very much
pleasure,
all
Nadja.
for listening.
I
Yeah,
hope
thank
you come with us again soon. And
Thank you.
thank you, Wanderlei. Thank you, Nate, for your help. I talk
Thank
to
you, everyone.
you on Thursday. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. And from my heart, thank you.
Yeah.